Okay, let's start then. Yeah, can you tell about yourself and your project's role and responsibilities?
So yeah, I am Nikhil. I have total around 4.5 years of experience as a Angular developer. My main tech stack is Angular, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and RxJS and NgRx. And my I have mainly worked on Angular from version 12 to 19. And my recent project was property management system, where I work on to building reusable components. Collaborated with UI/UX team, backend team, and API. I did API integration, and yeah, currently I'm exploring the backend technologies like Node.js and Spring Boot, and I'm looking forward to contribute for the large scale applications and grow as a front end engineer.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
okay. In last 6 months, with what you build and what type of problems you faced, can you tell me?
so yeah, I have uh, built one of the complex functionality like PDF functionality, where I have to load the multiple images, and yeah, I use their promises and resolve that functionality. Also, I have faced one problem where my UI was lagging due to performance issue. So I use on push change detection strategy. And yeah, there is another case where I built creation process of the periodical task, where I have to do some complex validations. Like for the scheduled, I have to build uh, monthly schedule, yearly schedule task, which have some overlapping validations. So I have built that. Yeah.
Okay, let's start with JavaScript. What is
Okay.
the execution context and how it is behave?
Yeah. So execution context. Execution context have two phase: memory phase and code phase. In the memory phase, we have just the variables, and in the code phase, the actual code executes. So execution context is placed inside the call stack. So as you know, JavaScript is single-threaded language. One task will execute at one time. So call stack will execute uh, one task at one time. Uh, uh, so execution context will place inside the call stack and execute one by one. Should I explain the uh, loops, event loop and all?
Yeah, just tell me about the microtask queue and macrotask queue.
Yeah, so we have Microtask queue and Macrotask queue, which is nothing but part of the web APIs. So suppose you have a set timeout in your code, then it will go to Macrotask queue, and if you have promises or any fetch request, which will go to Microtask queue, and Microtask queue have higher priority, which will again execute through event loop. When all microtask queue will execute, then only one uh, call stack queue will execute.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sending a code snippet. Can you just provide the output? Just check the chat.
Okay. So yeah, first console log A will print as is synchronous. So also console log is D. D is not. So console log A will print and console log B will print. log e will print as it's synchronous. Then what is this q microtask? Is it function? Just
Yeah, it is a function.
okay. Mm, okay. First a will print, then uh, d will print, then e will print, then c, and then b.
Can you write in the chat?
So first yeah. A, sorry, I'll write again.
Yes,
A,
please. Okay, why D call
yeah.
first before E?
Mm, so it's just a function which is also considered as a synchronous code.
Do
So
you know
that's why.
about this function? It in called Q microtask is basically a function. In by using that we can set our priority after the promises. It will execute in microtask queue after the promise, and then set timeout will be, yeah, it's okay. Not not a big deal. Apart
So, okay, A
A,
E D.
no,
Okay,
A E after the set timeout. No. A E after the promises, C. Okay, then the Q microtask,
D.
D, and at the end the set timeout will call.
Okay, so this is as a callback function, so that's why it considered as
No,
a
no,
microtask.
it's not callback function. It is a predefined function by the JavaScript. So
Okay, it's like promises.
yeah, right.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
I don't have idea about this.
yeah, not a big deal, no problem. And let's move further. Can you tell about the shallow copy and deep copy, and why should not we use json.parse for doing the deep copy?
Shallow copy and deep copy, right? So, uh, I have not gone through this question, but I think shallow copy will create a different reference, while deep copy will not. Uh,
Okay, no problem.
can yeah.
Yeah, can you tell me the difference between lexical scope and the closures?
Closures is nothing but a lexical scope. So when you are trying to access any variables in any function's lexical scope is nothing but a closure.
Okay, so why we need lexical scope if both are same? You are saying the closures and the lexical scope is same. So why the JavaScript introduced the different term? Are you getting my point?
No, can you explain more?
Yeah, like can you tell me the main difference between lexical scope and the closures?
Okay. So closure is nothing but uh, it remembers the function's variable even if the that function is executed. For example, if you have one uh, function have one variable and that can be accessed through its inner function even if that function will get executed.
Okay,
Basically, it
that
remembers the
yeah, that's
variable.
is the closure. I got your point.
Yeah.
Okay, what is the lexical scope now?
So lexical scope is uh, child functions have a lexical scope of a parent function. So this is inheritance. I mean, if parent function don't have any uh, function, then it will point to the global, I mean, window object.
Okay, no problem.
This
Just
is
read about the little bit of lexical support. You are right somewhere, but you have to read little bit.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apart from that, can you explain me the debouncing and the throttling?
Oh, debouncing. Debouncing is it will wait when when still the user uh, stops the emitting the values for the specified time to avoid the duplicate API calls. This is debouncing.
Okay.
And throttling, again, I have not gone through it. It's similar, but I sorry, I will
Yeah,
go
yeah,
through
yeah.
it here.
No problem.
I was right about debouncing, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can you
Yeah.
tell me the difference between event bubbling and event delegation and event capturing? Why we need all these type of events? And have you used in your like projects?
Yes, I have used. So even delegation is so instead of creating elements I mean triggering events every time, we only event trigger only once using event delegation. Yeah, again, I have not gone through this question. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I will.
No, no problem. Let's move forward for the. Can you tell me the difference between promise.all settled, promise.race, and promise.any? Have you used
Yeah.
any of them API?
Yes, I have not directly used, but I have idea about. I mean, have clear understanding about it. So promise dot all. Uh, so you have multiple promises. So either it will execute all the promises, or if a single promises fail, then all promises will not execute. This is promise dot all. Uh, promise dot settle. Yeah, no idea about others.
Okay, okay,
So JavaScript, I have did JavaScript, but currently I'm not recalling it.
okay, okay. No problem. So, apart from that, can you tell me the main difference between await and the dot then property of the promise?
Okay. Okay. So await will uh, wait till the API call executes, where then is you have to manually call. I mean, either when it's only resolved, then only then will execute, whereas await will always executes.
Okay. Mm, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's move forward for the Angular part.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Yeah.
can you tell me the building block of Angular?
Yes. So Angular have many building blocks like component, module, services, uh, dependency injection, routing. Uh, these are the some Angular building blocks.
Okay. Can you tell me the difference between view child and template child? Template ref. Sorry.
Shell and template ref.
Yes.
Do you mean ng template or
Yeah. Ng template and the view child.
So using ViewChild, we can access the uh, components or any elements or directive, or when if it's used by that components only. Using ViewChild, we can access it. So ng template we cannot directly, it's not immediately render on the uh, UI. We have to explicitly call. For example, in the ngif we have else block. We can call it through ng template outlet. Yeah.
Okay. What is basically routes and how we can protect our routes?
So yeah, routes is we can access particular route using routing, and how we can protect is using route guard. We have multiple route guards, like can active, can deactive. Can active basically protects our routes. For example, we have some roles like admin or any other role, and if you don't want to access admin role, if user don't have a admin permission, then you can create route for admin role, so anyone cannot access the admin route. Or if you not logged in, then you cannot access specific routes, then also you can protect our routes. Also can deactivate, we can save your information. Yeah, if when you are accessing different routes, it will save your information. We can give confirmation box, either we want to redirect to other page or can stay to other this current page. Yeah.
Okay. What is the main difference between standalone components and the normal components?
So yeah, standalone components don't need any ng model to declare your components, where when your normal components needs to declare in the ng model. And standalone components have a main advantage of standalone components is lazy loading. You can lazy load your components. You don't need any module to lazy load your component, so that will improve your performance. So basically, when you're loading your model, lazy loading your model, you have, suppose you have 10-20 components, then Angular will download the all the dependency of that 20 components. But in case of standalone component, it will download only the loaded components only. That's the main difference of normal component and standalone component.
Yeah, yeah. Nice. Apart from that, have you worked with SSR?
I have not directly worked with, but I know very
Okay,
well.
conceptually, you know about the SSR.
Yeah, very well. I
Okay,
can use if I get chance. Yeah.
okay. What is SSR, SSG, and how we can use
So
it?
server side SSR is nothing but server side rendering. We stop loading our HTML pages on client side. Server loads it on the server side only and get back to the client. So it's used for basically SEO applications like uh, blogging or e-commerce or something like this. So SEO is nothing but search engine optimization. Whenever you search anything on Google, then you'll get something on top. This is nothing but SEO. So SSR applications are easy to indexing for Google, as it's provide everything like HTML content. But in the case of CSR, that will not provide everything. Like it will just give you a app.root. So Google will not do the indexing
How I
of your files.
Okay, got your point. How we can implement SSR in our front end Angular app?
I think using Angular Universal, using Node.js, and yeah, I
Okay,
don't have actual idea about it.
okay, okay. What is hydration in SSR?
Yeah, so hydration is uh, it it skips the re-rendering of the HTML pages when SSR sends the HTML page to the client. Then without hydration, it will re-render the HTML. But with hydration, that will skip. I mean, automatically it will re-render using hydration.
Okay. Have you worked on module federation and the micro front end?
No, I don't work with model federation, but I think it's like microservices. Everything is independent. Like developing and deploying is independent, so we don't need to depend on any other model.
Okay. Ha- okay. No problem. Let's move forward for the. Can you tell me the life cycle hooks and the order in which order they execute?
So first, enjoin changes will call for every input changes. Enjoin will call, then enjoin it will call after the component get initialized. Then ngdo check will call for the every change detection. Then I think if ng after content init will call only once when there is a content projection happen. And after that ng after content check will call for every change detection of the content projection. Then ng after view init will call whenever your component and your child components view get initialized. It call only once. And after that ng after view check will call for every change detection of the your components view and child components view. And then ng on destroy will call when your component get destroyed.
Okay, nice. Have you worked with the forms?
Yes, I have worked with forms, reactive forms, basically,
Okay.
mainly.
Mm, how we can add custom validator in our form? Just go through step by step and yeah.
Custom validator, yeah. Uh, we can create a function of a custom validator. Suppose you don't want some specific words while typing, then you can create logic of that, and you can just simply throw error if this words is includes in your array, and then simply that function you can register in your form group form controls, yeah, in the validator section.
Okay. Can you tell me the change detection technique, default versus on push, and how the zone JS work? And apart from that, what signals help inside it? Okay, and also Angular introduced the zoneless rendering. How the zoneless rendering will it is working? Can you tell me?
Yeah, so Angular have uh, change detection strategy, which is nothing but your UI is sync with your component. So Angular have two change detection strategy, which is default and on push change detection strategy. Default change detection strategy is Angular checks all the component tree whenever something happen like event limits or observable limits or promises resolved anything. Angular will check for entire component tree. That will reduce your Angular's performance. So we have another strategy which is on push, which we can cancel the. I mean, you can skip some components using on push change strategy. So an on push change strategy will only trigger change detection whenever is there any input reference changes or any event emits, or when if you're using async pipe in your templates and your observable emits, then only it will trigger. Another way is you can manually detect changes using detect changes method or mark for check methods, which is come from change detection reference service. And yeah, it's how we can help signals is zone less change detection. Means you don't need a zone.js library to detect changes for the signal. So signals holds the value and it get updates whenever it's get used. So this is change detection, and Angular I think introduced zoneless change detection strategy from Angular 17 to reduce the dependency of zone.js. Yeah.
Okay, you mentioned mark for change, yes, and detect changes. Mark for check and detect changes, right? What is the
Mhm.
main difference between both of them?
So yeah, detect changes will detect immediately, and mark for check detect for the Angular's next change detection cycle. So in the case of observable, you can use mark for check, and otherwise you can use detect changes.
Okay, how we can reduce our bundle size? Can you tell me?
Yeah, we can use we can reduce your bundle size using lazy loading. So your application don't need to load every module for the initial load. In that case, you can lazy load some future modules using lazy loading. So that will reduce your initial bundle size. So you can basically load the required feature modules only. Yeah.
Okay, let's suppose we have a scenario in which our module bundle size is around like 23 MB. Okay, we
Mhm.
have to reduce it by around 10 to 12 MB. Okay, Mm, how
Okay.
what is your approach to handle that?
Um, Also, we can uh, you know re- replace the some heavy packages with other packages to reduce the bundle size. Apart from that, we can do lazy loading as I told. Yeah, these are the some ways that we can reduce this yeah, bundle size.
Okay,
Yeah.
how we can improve the performance of our application? Go step by step and explain in depth.
Yeah, again, for performance improvement, we can use lazy loading as I told, and then also we can use on push change detection strategy for specially for the reusable component or data heavy components, or we can use track by in the ng for loops to reduce. I mean, to reduce the unnecessary DOM rendering. For example, if you have a list of hundreds of uh, item, and if we are adding one item or updating one item, then without ng track by, that will check all the hundreds of elements. So if you use track by, then only affected element will render on the DOM. That will improve your performance. Apart from that, we can use SwitchMap to avoid duplicate API calls, debounce time to avoid again duplicate API calls, or again we can use signals We can use standalone components for the lazy loading. Yeah, these are the some ways we can improve your application performance.
Okay, let's suppose you have to create an application from scratch. Have you did?
Yeah, for my personal project, I have it.
Okay, let's consider you have to create an application in which you a specify page, product listing page. Okay, inside that, let's suppose we have an Amazon product listing page. You have to create that page. What will be your approach to handle all the things, and how you start with that? Just start from, like, if we have 100 user, and then we have uh, mm, 10k user, then we have 100k user, like this. How you handle those things also?
Okay, so I'll first create a product list component. Inside that, I will create a product component to load individual products, and I will have a filter components as well to filter out the components. So and in the product list component, I will use ng for loop to iterate the product component. I will use services to handle the product list and iterate. I mean, to add, remove, or update the products, I will use service. Yeah, so I will create separate folders for uh, each components. This is a system design question, right?
Yes, yes, yes. No problem. Leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you use, can you tell me the difference between NgRx and services and the behavior subject and the signals when you use, and for which type of application you would prefer NgRx and services and the signals? Can you tell me?
Yeah. So NgRx is managed state globally. So NgRx basically used in large scale applications where you have many, I mean, component services. In this case, you can use NgRx. So using services or behavior subject, your code will get messy and it will hard to maintain. So yeah, services we can use for the small applications with behavior subject, but for the NgRx we use for the especially for the large scale applications. As we have our application was very large, we have multiple modules to manage all this state. We are using yeah, NgRx.
Okay. Apart from that, you have worked on NgRx, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell me, like, I will provide a scenario, okay? We are managing a state of user, okay? And
Mhm.
for that users, we have multiple type of roles, okay? And
Okay.
so in that scenario, how you manage the NGRX and the state? Go step by step. Add the action selector and reducer, all the things. Yeah,
So I have users. Sorry, can you go again?
sure. We have an user state, okay? Inside our
Mhm.
user state is maintaining. Along
Mhm.
with, we have the user role based system, okay?
Mhm.
Are you getting
Okay.
my point? My
Yeah. Yeah.
main concern is that the different type of module, okay, we have different type of module, okay, and
Mhm.
we are managing the state, then the state will be considered as only for the modules which are required for that specified user, not other modules.
Yes, yes.
Are you got my question?
Means different state for different modules, right? Different
Yes,
store for different modules.
as yeah, as we can say, like let's suppose I will provide the real case scenario. We have a user, okay. Inside
Hmm?
that, it is a customer, okay. Then only he should access only the customer modules. Apart
Mm-hmm.
from that, he can't access the admin module. So the admin component can't make the changes inside the customer module and
Yes,
customer state, we can say. Got my question?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and explain in depth.
But it's related with, you know, backend. I mean, user have admin role, then it's something like
Okay,
route guard.
something like route, but you have to manage this on front end side also, because we are implementing NgRx and we have to manage over state. What my question? Like we have multiple modules inside our front end application.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for
Yeah.
those module we have to implement those things.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and explain like.
So I will explain first NgRx. So NgRx have one store state which contains all the related, you can say, variables, which is nothing but state, and you can manage that state around your all the components. So we have actions, reducer, effect, and selectors. So action is nothing but when you have something like you click the button, then you can call the action, and action will go to reducer. Reducer holds the one two parameters. One is new value and another is state, which returns the state, and reducer basically updates the state. And then if you call same action on the effect, then effect will manage the API calls, and after effect will success or error, you can again call any action to set your data. Then you can access that data through your selectors, which is just return the state. So you can access particular variables using selectors. So this is flow of NGRX. And your question was to manage different state, right?
Yes.
Uh, so I not got your question actually.
Okay, no problem. Leave it. And apart from that, can you explain the dependency injection?
Yeah, Angular, instead of creating your objects, instead of using new variable, Angular injects the services and provides the instance of any services. This is nothing but dependency injection, which is loosely coupled. So it's easier to test. So without dependency injection, your application becomes tightly coupled and hard to test. So that's why Angular provides dependency injection mechanism. Yeah, it will create a single instance basically
Okay,
of the service.
let's suppose I have a service. Okay,
Hmm.
for that service, in whatever component I am using, okay, I want a new instance for each component. How can I do that?
Yeah, so you can provided in any, so that will create a new instance. If you use root, then it will create single instance. Also you can use providers in your component, that will also, I think, create a new instance for every service.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know the inject hierarchy injection?
No, I have not gone through it.
Okay,
Right.
no problem. And have you worked with RxJS operators?
Yes, I have worked with RxJS approaches.
Which operator you have used?
I used merge map, switch map, concat map, exhaust map, tab operator, timer operator, interval operator, or you can say map filter. Yeah, these
Okay,
are the some operators. Yeah.
what is the main difference between SwitchMap and the ExhaustMap?
Okay, switch map. Yeah, let me think. Switch map basically cancels the previous request. I mean, it will executes the latest request. For example, if you are typing anything like Angular, then it will not uh, send the request for ANGULR. It will only send the request for Angular. Means it will emit only latest uh, emit. It will latest stream will emit.
Yes, yes.
Also, yeah, when there is any dependent API call, like one API is dependent on another API call, then also we use switch map. Whereas exhaust map, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So exhaust map is when some one uh, request is running, then if user is sending some multiple requests, then it will ignores the all the request while executing the first request. Whenever first request will execute, then only it will accept the other request. So that will basically be used to like login form or any button clicks whenever you need only single API will execute at a time.
Okay.
In that case, we use it.
Let's suppose you have to create 5 APIs at a time. Okay.
5 pages.
Okay, you want the response of all at a one place. Okay, all the APIs.
Yeah.
Which operator you will use?
I will use ForkJoin as
Okay.
it will give you
Okay,
single
for the
response.
fork join, if any one of them fail, then what will happen?
Then nothing will execute. So we can return empty in this case. We can you know pipe the catch error and we can return empty to avoid this case.
Okay, if any one of them fail, then all the APIs will fail.
Yeah.
Are you sure about this?
Uh, all API will not fail. This will not execute.
If I do error handling for each, then what will happen?
Yeah, then it will execute and whatever we have handled error, that will come as a response.